What's up? Good morning, everybody. So we're just going through my morning prep. Seems like gold setting up for a bit of a short here. Just sort of on the bottom end of this. What economic data do we have today? So home builder confidence, that's it at 10 a.m. So really no data at all, which is fine. It's good. And then earnings. We are on Tuesday. It's all building up to NVIDIA tomorrow, guys. That's it. Let's change this a little bit so you can see what commodity we're trying. Oh man. Okay. Alright, we're just setting up the stream here. Cool. So let's look for our first movers here this morning. The ES, we're sitting around a key support zone. Let's go to the 30-minute chart here. Actually, let's go to the hourly chart. So we have an older trend line. Oops. Older trend line from the hourly. I gotta clean this chart up a little bit. A lot of trading lines here. So let's take a look on the daily where we're at for the ES. So a bit of a pullback on the daily. Our stochastics are just crossing. This is a bit of a divergence up here because these are still well above the 80. So that usually means that we're going to have another upward move. So let's watch out for that. Watching out for a possible aggressive open. On the dailies, we're well above the 20. Here, let me show you the indicators. I have the 20 EMA, 50 EMA, and then the 200 EMA. So that's red, purple, and then blue respectively. Where's my blue line? Is it? No, it's down here. This is the 200 EMA. As you can see, I have a lot of lines down here. We were sitting in that zone for quite a long time. Okay. So what we're going to look for, there's something, and I think we can find it here. There's a very simple morning setup that you can do. Do I have? I don't think I can see the box that I drew ages ago. I'm trying to find. Here we go. So I'm going to show you guys an example here. Oops. Okay. So when was this? This was March 26th. This is a great example. So, sometimes in our markets, the market makers will create liquidity for these enormous institutions to be able to get their trades through, right? Because if you're selling, somebody needs to be buying, and vice versa. If you're buying, somebody has to sell. So in order to do that, sometimes they create a bunch of liquidity that's not necessarily naturally in the market on its own. They're literally creating the liquidity so that these big institutions can trade. So you can spot this trend usually in the first 15 minutes of market open,
and Q,
the last
1 minute, 40 to 4 divergence bull.
That's a
stage 2 confirmed.
I don't think I can control the volume of that. Man, that sucks. Okay, I'll just have to look over at, well, hold on. No, I can't really, let's test.
This is a test of the QR Pro scanner audio system. All systems operational.
Okay, well, the volume does nothing, so that's cool. And then let's get these tick strikes on. I want the tickers on. Oh, I didn't mean to close that. Damn. Hold on. One of my scanners. Just want to set it up here. I use a bunch of scanners for the stochastic indicators. Just helps you in case you're missing something, because oftentimes there's a lot happening during the day. I'll get back to what I was sharing with you guys in 1 sec. I just want to make sure this is set up appropriately. Cool. Close up. There we go. So that tick that you're going to hear there, that's indicating if there's buy or sell orders on, like big buy or sell orders on the S&P 500, on the ES futures. Okay, so basically, the first 15-minute candle and the last 15-minute candle of the day have the most volume because orders are being placed for the next day, or orders are being executed from the previous day. So in this is market open, 8:30, first 15-minute candle. Wait until that 15-minute candle closes, up or down, and then you're going to want to measure the volume. So down here, we're going to look at our, where is it? ATR. What's the long name of the ATR? It is, let me grab it for you. The average true range. Excuse me. So your average true range indicator down here, you're going to go on the daily. I'm not going to do it now because I just pulled this up. I don't want to have to pull it up. But you go on the daily, and then you look at what the average true range volume is, like the highest peak. For the S&P 500 on the futures, for the ES, the average true range is generally around 200. So you're going to have about 200 volume in your time period. So the rule is, if this first 15-minute candle is about 25% of that, it's not like a fake candle, but it's an artificially manipulated volume spike of 25%. So if that's the case, your trade is a go. This strategy is a go. So just create like a little box to show you this opening range, okay? And basically, whichever direction you cross candle-wise, you're going to look for a retracement back through this box, okay? It almost always happens. It's about like an 80%, 85% chance. Obviously, you got to look at the daily news and trends and stuff like that. But if our volume, so if you're trading the ES, if your volume is about 50 or higher in this first candle, and the way you do that is you go to your measuring tool down here, and you just measure from there to there. What's our volume at? Up here. So you see 143. So that's our highest peak volume is 200. So as long as we're hitting 50 on this first candle, we can do this trade. So we're hitting 143. That's great. So we draw our box. We go to our lower time frame, 5 minute, 3 minute. I trade on the 1 minute because I'm a lunatic. And wait, where did it go? Where did it go? I lost it. Where are we? Okay, up here. Where'd the box go? So I don't like going back too far because I lose it. Where did it go? Oh, the 26th of March, right? Oh, it took me to the front end of the candle. Whatever. March 26th. Where are we? Down here. Okay, here's a different box. That's fine. So the same thing happened here. Only we never ended up crossing in any which direction. Something seriously messed up with my chart now. No, that's really tilting. Okay. We're going to use this example. As you can see, I've done this trade many, many times. So actually, this is a perfect example. So on the 15-minute here, this candle was large enough to trigger my parameters. This candle was 80. So 80 out of 100, obviously, it's more than 25%. So I draw my box, and then I just follow the trade. I wait for it to cross either below this box or above this box, and then I look for a point where I can take a reversal. So you got to look for some reversal candles. I would go into a lower time frame, but I think it's going to kick me. So March 26th. Let's go to the 1 minute, but I have to go to, yeah, it took me back. So we're just going to go quickly. March 26th. I don't know why it auto bumps me to the front. It really shouldn't do that. How's everybody doing today, by the way? While I'm getting here to show you guys what I'm talking about. Hope everyone's doing well on this beautiful, beautiful day this morning. April 26th. Oh man, we got a ways to go here. This is taking way too long. 14th. We're almost there. Almost there to March 26th. I really want to show this to you guys because it's really a really powerful trade that you can do at the beginning of every day, and it's very, very consistent. That noise means we have a bunch of stuff moving to the buy side on the ES, which I'm looking at currently. And you can do this for all futures. You can do this for XRP. You can do it for oil. You can do it for gold, any sort of commodities. Okay, so we're on the 26th here. So we're in the evening of the 26th. Let's look for the market open. Where my box is. So we're looking at 8:30 in the morning. Where are we? Oh, we're at 24th. Okay. Okay, we're at the 27th. Did my box disappear on this time frame? Man, I don't know what's going on with the charts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's not coming up properly. The point is, I'm just going to show you on the 15-minute. I operate on this lower time frames though, so that's why I wanted to show it to you. But I mean, this is like a prime example. We'll go back to it. I don't know why it doesn't show up on the other ones. So essentially, you just wait. You're waiting for your signal. So if this crosses below or above this box after that first 15-minute candle, what's up, Mr. Zam? You're going to look for a confirmation of a reversal. So down here on the 15-minute time frame, you got the stochastics that are all under this 20 mark. On the lower time frame, this was a very, very clear reversal candle. And then of course, your stop loss is essentially, your take profit is up at the top of this box range, which we clearly passed through. It was like a very textbook trade, passed right through it. Very super simple. Down here on the next day, we had a similar thing, only there was no reversal. So this just isn't a trade that you would have taken. I actually think I took a position down here, and then I usually open 2 contracts. So I have my first take profit at the bottom of the purple, and then the second take profit up here. So I think I actually did clear my first take profit here, and then I set my stop loss, and then I took it off the table, and it never crossed. So in this case, we did kind of have a little bit of a reversal after it met our conditions, but nothing substantial. And hopefully we'll get to see that today when market opens. Same here, we crossed, and then we kind of ping-ponged and seesawed back and forth, and then never had anything happen with it. So the important things to pay attention to, when you're doing scalping, day trading, whatever, is you don't just want to go by a hunch or a feeling. You want to look at larger trends. So like right now on the 15-minute, we do have a bit of a downward momentum. but if you go to an even higher time frame, you can see that we're just kind of like it's range bound here, literally from up here to down here. I mean, this was a big bullish candle to go higher, and it just didn't happen, right? So we are range bound here. So what we'll essentially be looking for when market opens is to break, where's my box, is to break this sort of volume bound range here. And we have a bit of an upside up here, but we also have a lot of downside. Our first downside, where we got a little bit of resistance, is essentially down here at this red line. So if we're wrong, you know, there's a lot of ways to drop. So whenever you're entering a trade, you need to have some sort of a thesis and conviction. Don't just trade for the sake of trading. Why are you entering that trade? What's the purpose? Not just quote unquote, I hope it's going up. If you look down at the bottom of my screen, I have my ES and NASDAQ, so my S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures stochastic indicators up. It's the QR Pro scanner by Day Trading Radio. Awesome. This isn't, I use some of his system, and I also use my own charting and stuff. So, but it's great to have this scanner up there. So it shows you that all the stochastics are oversold. That's on the 1 minute. So I'll show you here. So as you can see, the 9 range stochastic, the 14, 40, and 60, they're all oversold. So if these all start to cross this 80 line here together, that's a really good indicator that this is going to be in a downward trend. And let me get rid of this. Actually, I can just draw over this. And then I do on the 1 minute charts, I do like mini trend lines, right? So here we have a little bit of an upward trend, actually, just like that. And I'll just do these little mini trends, and a time to get into these is when you see a reversal of like a bearish or a bullish reversal, and then when you break this range, this kind of like trend line here, right? So if these tickers, I want to make sure it's good on the mobile. Yeah, so if these candles break this structure and these all cross this line, that's a good time for me to enter a trade, as an example. I don't really like trading pre-market because they're so low volume. And you see our EMAs are so tightly bound together. So this is another thing to pay attention to, is this 20, 50, and 200 EMA. The 200 EMA is up here, this blue line. And you see it just touched our trend line, and it immediately bounced. But we are overbought on everything. So that's not a trade that I would take. That's a high risk trade. Now, if this were to have gone downwards, and then these all cross, I know it's a lower risk trade, because I know that the statistical probability of it coming down is a lot higher. You're really just playing the odds, right? You're watching trends and you're playing the odds. So we got big buys coming in. And over here on our mobile, you can't really see it. On my stream, you kind of can. On my full stream, you kind of can. Oops, I'm trying to adjust it here. So on the right here, we have the DOM, and that's just like an order flow indicator. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. On the mobile, I'll stretch it out a bit so you guys can see. So there we go. So here it shows the orders that are currently placed in the market at the different strike prices. So you can see where there's like a big bunch of order here. Hold on. There's a large group of orders up here. So everything's right around the 15, 14 mark. We have one at 34. Up here we have one at 75. So there's a large group of sell orders at 75. So that's going to be an indicator for me that the trend is either going to blast through that and all the stops are going to be filled here, or this is a big resistance zone and we're never going to cross it. So you really just have to interpret it the way that you see fit. Let's put this back in the middle. And then once you know what your methodology is and what you're looking for, you just gotta wait. Most of the money is lost when you're just bored. You're just bored and you decide to trade when there's nothing to trade. Actually, I do want to see how oil's doing. We had a bunch of oil news yesterday. So oil really rose. And this huge stick here is when Trump announced that he was going to delay the attacks on Iran today. And then we've kind of just sat in this zone. And we had a bond auction yesterday, right? Well, bonds took a bit of a pop too. Yeah, our bonds are really on the downward trend. So let's see what news we've got. These are all the economic events that are happening today. Let me move this over. Oh man, you can't really see it on the mobile. Unfortunately. Sorry guys. If you guys are watching from your phones, y'all are at a disadvantage. We do have news on this side. Let me. There we go. So labor candidate, that doesn't matter. U.S. Treasury Secretary Besant on Japan. Excess futures. Forex volatility is undesirable. U.S. Treasury Secretary Besant, I think. Fundamentals of Japan's economy are strong. Confident Ueda will successfully guide policy. So just all comments on Japan. Here's a Canadian CPI report chart. So 12% month change. So the CPI is going down excluding gasoline. With gasoline it's going up. We're still at 2. It's not bad. We have another chart here for strength of global currencies. America's at the top. The Australian dollar's at the bottom. I mean, this might be a good time to grab some Australian dollars if you're into Forex trading. And of course you can apply all this to XRP as well. Just gonna bring up my trading view. This is a chart on Intel. I'm in a pretty big trade on Intel. I've got some very, very strong in the money leaps. Intel's at a really crucial point right now. It's retraced quite a bit from its highs, which we all knew it would, but it's sitting under the 200-day moving average now on the hourly chart. On the daily chart, we're still well above the 200-day moving average, so we're still very, very bullish on the daily. There's the selling pressure on the ES. You can hear it popping. You can hear those popcorns. On the 15-minute, on the 1 minute. So you see, so here's a great example. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So we're crossing this trend zone. We've crossed these, but because the bottoms have not crossed this 80 line up here, we wouldn't want to get into this trade. This could still fly right back up. Just extend it a little bit. So we want to see really, really full confirmation that this is going downwards. And usually, so here's just a real quickie, easy for you guys to know. This 20-day EMA, the 20 EMA. Whenever you're moving in a reversal trend, like say it's coming down like this, whenever you touch this 20 EMA, it's going to pop right back up in the opposite direction. There's a lot of sellers, or there's a lot of orders that are usually placed on these trend lines, especially on the 20 EMA. I've found on the 1 minute chart at least. There's always some sort of a pullback when you immediately touch it. So that's a great place to take profit if you're pretty far away from it, if you have a pretty aggressive trend in one direction. So now we are crossing here, but it's still a bit of we still have bullish pressure going up. And you see, look at that. It touched it and it popped up immediately, just like I said. So in retrospect, if you were convinced in your thesis on your analytical tools that this should continue on an uptrend. So we do, hold on, just got a notification. We have a perfect bull set up. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to jump in, but there is a divergence here since these were still above and then these dropped down. So now we have an opportunity that this would go higher. And just to show you, I'll just hop into a small, I'll do a micro trade here. Just one. I'm just going to buy
Order filled.
here. So we'll redraw our trend line. So I'm on the MES now, which is the micros, substantially smaller. The other ones would have been $12 a tick. These are $1.25. So they're increments of 10. So we reversed right here. So that's where I'm going to put my stop loss, right down there. And then we're going to look to take profit above the high that we hit here. So just a little $13 trade, but I just want to show you. So my indicator said that it's time to get into a trade. I don't generally follow it, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit of action there. And now immediately that this has not crossed back into this trend zone, I would probably exit out if it didn't cross soon. Because we want to be in this trend line. We want to be in this zone. If we're not in this zone, that means that we're establishing a new trend. Whether that's just like a static ping-ponging back and forth, or whether we're gonna reverse and have a downtrend. Though we do have an upswinging in momentum in these stochastic bands at the top. So we could walk away with a little bit of profit. I just don't like how low volume there is pre-market. Usually around 8 a.m. we start to have a little bit of picking up in volume. Any little bit of news at this time of day will actually create this. So actually this is a great place to grab profit, is sort of around here. So this is where we had a lot of resistance. So right under there earlier in the night, that would be a perfect place to take profit. So don't just arbitrarily find a place to take profit. Don't look at these profit and loss numbers. The profit and loss numbers are going to mess you up forever, because your mind's going to say, oh, I need to make that much money. Oh, I'm losing so much money. Look at your trends. Look at where it's reasonable that this trend is going to... So you see it bounced down here twice. So to me, this is a key resistance zone. So if we cross that, which is right now where the 20 EMA is and the Bollinger Band one is. And we're at the height of the Bollinger Bands here too. This is also something to look at. This is the very thin blue band that you have up here. So up here, and this orange line is the center of it. So once you get to the edge of the Bollinger Bands, it usually tries to snap back to the orange, depending on how much volume there is. But this is kind of a key zone here. So once we've crossed this, the likelihood that we're going to reverse and move downward is pretty high. So I want to mitigate that risk and put my stop loss just under it to give the trade a little bit of room to breathe. And this is also kind of a high here, so we're literally fighting with the highs right now from earlier this morning around 6 a.m. We bounced off this twice and then reversed and then came down. So this is the second time we're bouncing it. And everything rule of threes is kind of universal, right? If something bounces off a resistance zone 3 times and doesn't break it, get out of the trade, okay? Get out of it, because you're putting so much more risk on the table. So right now we've kind of bounced once, bounced twice. I'm going to give this a little bit of time. If this bounces up one more time and doesn't cross it, we're out of the trade. And all the indicators are now kind of saying that we are kind of setting up. This is a bit of a bearish reversal here. And we're well under this trend line, and we're kind of establishing a new trend line. Although we do kind of have... I usually go from the lowest lows. So we are still kind of within a larger trend line, and if we consider these outliers. But then after this trend line, which is I think kind of pushing it, because we're cutting out a lot of these candles. If we close below this, I'm just out, period. So this is our third opportunity to sort of break through this high, which is this red line that I drew. Will we do it? If we don't do it, no big deal. We'll just wait for another setup, another early morning trade. Listen, there's always a trade to happen. There's so much happening in the market. There's so many people in the world. If you see something like Intel like exploding, I had all my friends asking me, should I buy Intel now? I know you have Intel. No, man, it was $20 in last summer. It's a $20 stock, and it went up to 130. I think, and now it's settled at 106, but I mean, still, that's really, really high. That's 5 times what it was in the summer. So no, look for something else that's beat up. And I'll show you a resource that I use to find stocks that are completely beat up. Okay, so and this is the volume of trades that we have here. And say I put my set profit to right under that 111, 111 orders. Okay, if this closes down here towards like the 0 profit mark, we're down here, I'm out. We're done. Because now we're putting a lot of risk on the table. These have no room to go higher. We're almost at the complete end of overbought on everything, which means that we'll be looking for a reversal soon. Yeah, there's a lot of downward pressure. And some of you might just think, well, it's only 20 bucks. I'll just leave the trade up for like, just if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. It's a really bad, it's a bad mentality to have. If something doesn't meet your priorities and meet your, not priorities, excuse me, meet your setup and like meet your structure, your trade structure, and it breaks rules of your trade structure, and then you're like, it's not meeting any of those criteria anymore, then just get out of it. We have a large amount of volume coming at right above here. There was a huge amount of sell orders. I think someone who's trying to push the ES down. As you can see down here, the volume is still pretty low, picking up a little bit. The largest volume candles we've had right now were all green. So that is a plus. What other international news is coming out right now, if anything? No, just Treasury Secretary Bassett speaks. That's it. And we're touching that 20 EMA. And we have a totally new trend now. So
order
I'm out.
filled. Order filled.
So we're no longer in our trend line. We're probably going to cross this 20 EMA too. Things are pulling down a bit, but we have no clear trade structure or entry. We're just kind of ping-ponging back and forth. But we still have a bit of a resistance zone down here on the 1 minute. And right around that resistance zone, we had a bounce up again. So if you're just ping-ponging back and forth, it's not worth taking any trades. It's too nerve-wracking. The risk is too high. It's a nice bullish reversal candle though. But yeah, this is why trading pre-market is a little bit tough. There's not a lot of volume. Move slow. You gotta wait a long time. Let me show you the resource that I use for to find stuff. Slick Charts. Everybody should go to Slick Charts. It is awesome. You can go to the S&P 500 right here. And you could look at component performance. So how does each component of the S&P 500 look? So SanDisk is up. Oh, you guys can't see that on the mobile. Let me move this. There. So SanDisk is up 445%. So would you want to buy SanDisk or trade it? Probably not. And Intel is up 187% just this year. So no, don't buy Intel. So what I would do is I would scroll all the way to the bottom here and look at what's underperforming in the S&P 500. So Lululemon is down 41%. Lululemon's a great company. The Trading Desk, they're down 40%. Intuit, QuickBooks, your taxes, that's down 37%. I did a trade on that earlier. Nike's such a solid name. You know, it's been around forever. They're going through a bunch of rebranding and stuff. They're beaten up stock. And they offer a 3.8% dividend. Like, there's, I mean, it was up at 180 in 2022, where we're basically down to 2015 levels. So if you want to time travel and go back 10 years and buy Nike, now's the time to do it. But you got to look at the company's fundamentals also. What shifts are they going through? What are their problems? Don't just buy something because it's low, right? I mean, Nike's never going to disappear, but these are the sort of names you should be looking for. Even Robinhood. Wow, Robinhood's down. It was up at like, yeah, it was up at 140. So it's a big pullback here. They're coming out with a lot of banking services and stuff. So that's going to be something to look out for in the future. And yeah, just use this. This is a great resource to have. Salesforce is down 30%. Man, don't they have earnings? Pretty sure they have earnings. CRM earnings. Date May 27th. So next week. They have earnings next week.
ES 1 minute. Hyperscaler long setup possible bull flag.
So we have a possible bull flag on the ES. Yeah, because there's a divergence here. To me, an indicator that we should get into this trade is if these candles cross this resistance zone up here and they close above it. That would be my initial take, entry position. See, now we have a new trade, new trend line. Because we've been trading in this range now. And you can look at the wicks of the candles if you're making your trend lines. I like to go right to the candles, because I consider these wicks outliers, because that, you know, the wicks just mean that you went up there, the trades went up there, and then they came back down. Oh, look at that downward. This is what I'm saying. Right at 8 a.m. a lot of volume comes in. So you always
1 minute. Hyperscaler long setup possible bull flag.
Yeah, that is a bit of a bull flag, but I'm not gonna enter yet, because we're once again under this trend line that we just set. So what I was gonna say is that you got to think about your higher time frames too. Like if I'm trading on the 1 minute, I got to be careful of the 5 minute. I got to be careful of the 15-minute increments, 30-minute increments, and hourly increments. Some people only trade on those higher time frames. So that means that sometimes a lot of volume will come in on those high time frames because people make decisions on those time frames. If I'm trading on the 5 minute, I'm going to wait for a candle to confirm a position of mine, and then I'm going to come in, just like on the 1 minute. Only there's a lot of people that do it on the 15 and on the 30. So when those time frames hit, people are making decisions. When people are making decisions, volume comes in. So if you're kind of unsure about a position and want to... I don't know why I was disconnected all of a sudden. I'm on my prop firm account right now, by the way. Just showing you guys this. I'll show you guys how to use NinjaTrader a little bit later. NinjaTrader's super powerful futures trading platform. But I like this because they have a lot of... It's easy to navigate, especially for people who are just starting out. That's why I like Top Step. We're moving up nicely here. The what was I saying? Oh yeah, the higher time frames. So if you're not sure about if you don't really have super strong conviction in your trade, and you're coming up to like a 30-minute time frame milestone, like it's 8:29, market open is totally different, but say it's like 10:29, and you're not sure about the trade, maybe set your stop loss a little bit higher. Maybe take the trade off and wait for that volume to come in, because there are big volume surges at those times. Yeah, we're just still range bound here. Nothing big, even though we got those alerts. So yeah, CRM is something to look at as well. Salesforce, we got earnings next week. A lot of software names are beat up right now. Software is a good thing to be getting into. So you could be picking up Salesforce at 2023 levels. So these are the deals. I mean, this is kind of thing that Warren Buffett did, right? He just looked for value. He made his money when he bought the stock, not when it went up, because he bought it at such a low price. General Mills is down 30%, DoorDash is down 30%, AppLovin, GoDaddy, Domino's, Dollar Tree, Adobe. I think Adobe has earnings too, right? Adobe. June 11th, so we have a while still for Adobe. But yeah, this is a great resource. Write it down, please. Slickcharts.com. Slick, S-L-I-C-K. I'll write it in chat. Use that if you're curious of what you should buy. This is the safest way to do it. If you don't want to buy into the S&P 500, you don't want to buy into a fund, and you want to buy individual names, go to Slick Charts. Go to your index that you want to go to. Like we can go to the NASDAQ as well. Component performance. And then we can look at what is beat up the most. Intuit is down a lot. TurboTax, right? Saw those commercials about TurboTax. And this all came, it was up at $813 last July. All this huge downtrend of almost 50% from last year, all came from the fears of AI taking over everyone's jobs. That's it. That's all. Now, Intuit has recently rolled out a bunch of AI tools for their tax software. But essentially, I mean, this is a really strong resistance zone here. In 2022, 2023, we were floating around this zone here, this 400 zone for a long time. So this is a pretty confident place to get in. I own them. I bought them around this level, actually. I bought them right down here, about like 360 before earnings, and they swung up, came back down. That's fine. But software is but man, we're really getting a lot of sell volume. Yeah, that's what the popcorn means. So you see what I mean? If we just can't get a conviction above these trend zones, we get pullbacks. Let's see if there's any news that came out. The U.S. Red Book year over year came in a little bit lower. That's fine. Bond holdings, effective funds
ES
rates.
1 minute. Hyperscaler long setup possible bull flag.
Nothing significant really came out. This is just selling pressure from the previous day. And if something like this happens and it really starts aggressively moving in a direction, don't try and chase it, please. Please do not chase. Wait for a confirmation of a reversal, or wait for it to level out and then continue. Because you see we're in no man's land in these long period stochastic indicators. The reason that we got that announcement that a hyperscaler is possibly there is because these top two stochastic indicators are already oversold. They're oversold like crazy, whereas these are still up on the higher end. So these are still bullish a little bit, but yeah, because these haven't. I mean, just this middle one has crossed. I mean, this one just started to cross now too, but there's a potential that this just reverses and pulls up, and then it neutralizes the pressure of these longer period stochastic indicators. And all the longer period stochastic indicators mean is that we're looking at 60 ticks. This is looking at 40, this is looking at 14, and this is looking at the last 9 bars, excuse me, not ticks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's looking at those last 9 to give you this plot. So yeah, very, very oversold. This is pre-market. There must be some sort of Trump news or something that just hasn't been posted yet for us to be moving so negatively. There has to be something. This is a big resistance zone. If it bounces off here, we could see it go up a little bit. That's another thing to look for. Look where the candles have previously bounced off of, because that gives you a good idea of where you could enter a trade pretty safely. If we get a green candle above this, I might consider taking a trade for a small gain on the upside. But if this closes under this red line now, and we're close to the low of the day as well. So now we're almost to the oversold side on all three of these stochastic indicators. So there's a potential for a really big bullish move. So if this candle closes green and it closes in a hammer candle, I would consider taking a trade to the upside. Small trade here. I just don't know if it's going to happen. Really curious as to what news is happening here. Looking at Trump news, if there's anything. Oh, so 15 minutes ago, Iran warns against renewed U.S. attacks as Trump says it held off the assault. Qatar says negotiations need more time. So that's where that happened. Lots of warfare. If this green candle closes above this downward candle, we'll enter into a trade and we'll make down here our stop. But we got to wait for this candle to close first before we make our decision. Always wait for confirmation. Okay, as soon as this candle closes, I'm going to enter if it stays above this red candle. Ooh, it pulled back a little bit there. I'm going to enter right at that volume line. We're going to look for a take profit right before the end of this candle up there. So our stop loss happened just under where both these candles stopped. Okay. And we're going to look to take profit before this large volume candle is closed and before the other one starts. So these are all important buy zones and levels. And once we maybe get to this halfway mark here where this red line is, I'll bring the stop loss up to break even. Buy pressure coming in. And this is what we call a very high probability trade. So we've had a large downward trend. If you look on higher time frames, we're kind of around the same level here. So we just dipped under it. We took a trade just above it. It hasn't really gone lower in quite some time now. So the probability of it breaking a new low after all of this stuff is pretty low. So we're in a good position here. As soon as we touch this red line, I'm bringing the stop loss up to break even. Our stochastics are starting to cross at the bottom, which is a good indicator for us. Once again, you can never predict what's going to happen, so just making sure you set yourself up for minimal risk is the best. Wants to bounce off that resistance zone one more time. If we can't get this green candle to close above this or pretty close to this red candle here, I'm inclined to take the trade off. Because that's just going to indicate more downward pressure, more selling. But if it closes above, we'll stay in. And just being aware of the higher time frames. It's 12 minutes past. In 3 minutes, we're going to get a lot of volume. Okay, we crossed that volume line here. We touched it. So I'm moving us up to $1.25, which covers our trading fee to open and close the contract. So this volume line, we can talk about this too. This is this volume profile. This shows the volume of all the orders in this time frame that I have selected right now. So there's a lot of volume of orders coming here. So this is almost a resistance zone now. So if you want to be uber conservative, you could move this up right under that volume zone, because this is going to be a big resistance zone. And then, of course, if you move, the volume zone changes to down here, depending on how many candles are visible. Oops. There we go. Let's keep that up for you guys. And we've just started crossing these zones, so we actually have a significant way to go, but I'm going to do what I usually do and just keep it down by the break even. So really, I mean, we could just go right back up to here to this 200-day moving average up here, the blue. But like I said, usually when we touch these red zones, the 20-day moving average, that's when it reverses aggressively the first time it touches it. So that's why I put my stop loss, my take profit up there. And it's just important to manage your money. Right now, I mean, I'm down $8 on that last trade. So what I could do is I could just go up to $10 here and make sure that I'm positive, so I'm not negative on the day no matter what. When you boil trading down to like its fundamental basics, it's just risk management. That's it. Being responsible with your money, not being emotional, and risk management. Understanding what your budget is, understanding what your profit margins are. Our next candle is going to tell me what I'm going to do. I might just take the trade off the table if the next candle slows down. Looks like we're about to touch that 20-day EMA. There's a lot of volume downwards. If it bounces off this, I mean, we still have a good upwards momentum here. Oh, and did it touch the 20-day EMA? Oh, it did touch it. I didn't see it because I wasn't zoomed in. So I did exactly what we knew it was going to do. So I probably should have put this a little bit under the 20 EMA. It's just my mistake. It's not a big deal. And if it stops you out here, don't worry. I made a good call coming in here. Maybe I could have exited a little bit higher and taken profit, or I just kept this a little bit lower and continued the trade on. But the importance is not how much money you make. It's, did you make the right decision? Did you make the right calculated call that this was going to trend upwards at that moment? And we did. We bought in right here. It trended up, and then it came back down. Touched that 20 EMA like we said it would. So we probably should have taken profit up earlier. No big deal. And then it came back down, and it stopped us out. But that stopping out was good. We still ended up, I mean, we're positive about 27. I usually trade on a higher, bigger contracts, but only during the day. I don't like to trade big contracts pre-market and post-market, because there can be really enormous volume swings that just destroy your positioning. You don't understand where those volume swings came from. So we are kind of setting up a new trend here, and literally just rinse and repeat, guys. That's it. Just wait for your next setup. Wait for these to fall into the zone that you want. Wait for a higher conviction trade and go from there. See if anything is happening on the NQ. No, pretty much in line with oil. Oh, we had a big pop on oil. So that's that war headline I told you guys about. That Qatar says that negotiations need more time. As soon as they announced that whoop, we went right up on oil. Like I said, this can work for anything. Oh, that's what I was trying to show you. So that's our Intel chart. So let's go to XRP US dollar. Bitstamp has a longer time frame. So on our daily chart, you know, we're super range bound, obviously. If we look at our stochastic indicators, we are oversold on the 9 and the 14 time frame. We're in no man's land on the 60, and then we're trending downwards to be oversold. We're dumping on the S&P. Oil's going to keep going up, most likely. Dumped a little bit. So on the daily time frames, we're bearish still, but we have a large support line here, this green support line. If we look at the 60-minute time frame for XRP, we're in a bearish trend. We haven't quite crossed our oversold lines yet, so wouldn't really be the best time to get into a trade yet. Yeah, Goldman Sachs cut XRP exposure, which is interesting. On the 5-minute charts, we're under all these EMAs, so that's very bearish. Usually when these cross up here, you can see it crisscrossing. That's when you get reversals of trend. So if this 20 EMA crosses, then you're going to start to see a bullish trend. But we are very bearish right now. We've just crossed the stochastic, the 80 stochastic range on the top 3 range indicators. So that means that we are bearish on XRP right now on the 5-minute. And on the 1-minute, we're kind of in no man's land. But I don't think there's enough volume to really show what's going on 5-minute. I would do, on the 1-minute, I would look at 5 or 15-minute chart for XRP. But yeah, it's still very range bound. When we had this swing here, we had a big triple crossing of that 80 of the 3 stochastics. So all 3 crossed this line and we're on a downtrend. So that would have been your indicator to enter into that position there. And then same thing here, right? Cross, 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 and then all of a sudden we went down. So just look out for those. So we almost got up here. I wouldn't enter the position because we didn't cross that oversold mark here. We barely did, but we're like just touching it. It's not worth it. And the super long time frame is oversold, so that we still have that buying pressure up. So it can go either way right now. And you can do this for anything, literally any single stock, any security, any cryptocurrency, even small meme coins. You can do this on meme coins. I mean, we have like Pepe here we go, Pepe to US dollar. So same thing, right? You can see it's a little bit overbought. Like, man, we're dumping. We are dumping.
ES 1 minute. Hyperscaler long setup possible bull flag.
Oh wait, CENTCOM says blockade continues. So they're just reiterating blockade news. Nothing new. And 10 minutes before market open. So there's a lot of volume coming in. So this is the opportunity where we're going to have, I'm going to delete this pink zone here, to set up our box and figure out if we have a lot of volume or not on the day and market open, and then we could look for that initial trade. Hey, what's up? Mr. Citrus, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing, buddy? Just showing people how to set up their trading charts and stuff for futures, and for any stock, that is. So actually, all of our, you see how we're all under here? This is a trade I would take if this green can't. So it closed up there. We would need to break. So let me just show you this. So this is creating like a downward trend like this, right? So even though we have a green candle that just overtook this, well, it didn't quite overtake it actually, so I wouldn't take it. But even though our stochastics are going to be trending upwards, which means that we should enter, because we have not crossed this trend line, I wouldn't take the trade. Now, if these candles cross this trend line and close above it, and these are all swinging up, I would take the trade easily. Mr. Zam, what platforms am I broadcasting on? I'm broadcasting on Twitch, on Kick, on YouTube, and on X. Hey, Michi Niles. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just doing a little market open trade, and then I'm gonna go to work. So unfortunately, what's going to happen is once these candles cross this line, we're going to be oversold on the shorter time frames of the stochastics, which is then going to mean that it's a riskier trade to enter. So, I mean, you got to take the decisions, even if it's trending up and maybe it keeps trending up and you miss it. It's okay. Something else will come your way. Also, I would suggest do not trade in the first like 15 minutes of market open. It is chaos. I saw somebody using an allegory or like a comparison that if you're trying to trade the NASDAQ and NASDAQ futures, full contracts like this. So each move is each of these ticks is $5 on the NASDAQ on futures. Trading that at market open and market close is like getting a crack addict to clean your house. It's so true. It's wild how much volume comes in. Oh, dude, you're going to F1? Get out. Stop it. I remember when I was living there and F1 was happening. It's crazy. It's so much fun. I'm so jealous. I'm super, super jealous. Hey, you gonna go to any of the World Cup games, Mr. Citrus? Here, music brought to you by Vitalism. Check them out. They're awesome. Vitalism is sweet. They're a Brazilian band. Those tickets are expensive. Yeah, I know they are. It's the World Cup, man. I don't know. How much are World Cup tickets? I'm sure they are crazy expensive, though. Okay. Oh, there's a game in Toronto. Toronto versus Bosnia? Dude. Game's gonna be packed. Yeah, they're $1,000 each. About. It's not awful for World Cup. Honestly. It's like paying a regular Maple Leafs ticket, dude. Oh, man. Hey, Citrus, I know you'll appreciate this. Did you see that sick, nasty goal that Mitch Marner scored for the Vegas Knights the other day? Little spinorama. Is backwards facing the net, tucks it between his legs, and then double taps it. It's just disgusting. Disgusting goal. There's nothing to do right now, by the way, guys. I'm not trading before market opens here in 4 minutes. So we're just looking at the trends. Actually, I may as well load up the Mitch Marner goal. Honestly. Because I'm not trading anything.
ES 1 minute. Hyperscaler long setup possible bull flag.
Golden Knights goal. Okay. Alright, buddy. Yeah, I knew you would be cheering for the Avs. That's okay.
Wide place in the lineup is taken care of tonight by Jansen Harkins. Jacob Trouba in control of it. The team split the first 4 games. Tim Washy from well out, it deflects off a stick. Marner, who's in by William Karlsson. He springs a man. Mitch Marner, who's in, and he stuffs it home. Mitchell Marner.
It's just so nasty.
It's a stretch pass from Wild
so nasty.
Bill. William Karlsson put it right on the money. In Game 6, Vegas off and running.
Karlsson gets Golden Knights of hockey, and what a play by Theodore. But look at the position of Karlsson, and in one motion, there's Mitch Marner. Look at the end of this goal. No, not
between
here,
the legs
right
and
there.
then taps it in.
Oh,
dude, that's just so nasty. This is such a good goal. Such a good goal. I'm happy for him. They do suck. It's gonna be a good series, man. They did have an easy path. Montreal has had the whole pretty tough path, man. That series, Montreal Buffalo, was incredible. Incredible. was on the edge of my seat last night. Buffalo was just pounding them. And I understand
Market opens in 2 minutes.
So upset. Like, there was just like a
market opens in 2 minutes.
weird little knuckle puck that just kind of flew in, just flopped in. I guarantee you, he was anticipating that puck to go straight, like nice and hard, and it just dropped into the net, man. So frustrating. Who's Montreal playing now? Montreal's playing Carolina, right? That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. All right. Market opens in about a minute here. So we're going to see what happens. So we're going to look for that 15-minute candle. Right, guys? That was our plan. Canes in 5? You're calling it? I'll take it. What's the over-under on that? What do you think? What's the over-under on Hurricanes versus Habs with Canes winning in 5 games? It's about plus 350. Here we go. Market's about to open. Hurricanes are favored to win, though, right? Looking right now. Yeah. Man, I hope Montreal beats the Canes. It'd be nice to have a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup playoffs again. I know you hate the Habs. I know. But they're the only Canadian team left, so gotta deal with it. Gotta deal with it. Okay. Market's open. Oh, is my clock behind like a minute? That's not good. Just date and time. Well, it says set time automatically. Oh, I gotta synchronize my clock. I understand. Okay, cool. Alright, so we opened here, so now we gotta wait for 15 of these candles. So on our 15-minute, okay, opening candle was right here. So we're looking for this candle to be 20% of 200. Already at 48. I know they are, but they're not. I know they're basically Canadian. I can't stand McKinnon and McCarr. Actually, I can't stand them. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're too good. I'm just like, I want to see the talented people fall. I don't know. Almost our threshold. We're minus 47. So we're looking for 50 or more volume. I mean, if we can get closer to 100, that's a much easier trade. I know the ES is set up for a long right now. So look for long entry. Let's go on a 5-minute, 3-minute. So So we didn't break that trend line. But we're still kind of in no man's land there. I know. I know. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It is ironic coming from me. I appreciate that. I don't know why they bother me. It's just because they're good, right? You like want the underdog to beat down the person that's always been successful. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just because Drew likes them. Maybe I don't like Drew. Maybe I don't know. I'm just kidding. I like Drew. I like him. It has nothing to do with him. I don't know. I've just never liked the Avs. Maybe because they used to be the Quebec Avalanches or whatever, right? Or the Quebec Nordiques. Maybe that's why. That we can maybe settle on that being the reason that I don't like them. Just like you don't like the Habs. Just because the Nordics moved doesn't mean that they're a different team now. It's kind of like also when like Detroit was winning constantly back in the day. So that when they go, you can't throw it. I like the Avs because it's Drew, so if they win the cup, he can't throw it in my face. Very smart. Very smart. Very smart. Now there's a lot of selling pressure coming in. Do we have any extra news saying why? No, so there's just some imbalances. NASDAQ plus 16 minutes. 10 minutes, mag 5 minutes. Microsoft, the new devices are powered by Intel processors. Okay. Hold on. Where's our trading view? I bet that made Intel move a little bit. Yeah, it moved like $2 because of that comment. That Microsoft's using Intel processors. Yep. That's it. Just more Canadian CPI number, building permits. That was earlier today. Cool. As long as it's not Vegas. And you see on the opposite, when Vegas formed, I decided that was my opportunity.
Trade entry. Bought 1 MES at 7,385.
Yeah, so that's just indicating that there is a trading algo that goes. This is a big bullish indicator, by the way, but I don't like that we're in the no man's land here. So I'm gonna wait. We're gonna wait for a 15-minute candle thesis here, and I think we've hit the range. I think we've hit it. Measure. Open.
Trade closed. Sold 1 MES.
So we crossed 50.
$14.
We were at 59. 59 volume. I'd like more, but this is an entry. So you see, this was a bullish candle, but because we weren't meeting my criteria, I didn't take it. Think you're okay with the Canes winning? You want to be Hurricanes and Avs, eh? Yeah, when Vegas formed, when I was living in Montreal, that was my time. That was my excuse to get off the Maple Leafs boat. To start from the beginning, and then I would accept whatever happens. If the team sucks, then the team sucks. But luckily, they were good. You don't know any fans of the Canes? Yeah, true. I told you I was at that Canes Florida game like two years ago. Was it? It was the longest game ever in the history of the NHL. And that was the game that I ended up going to. I was like, oh man, it's not good. It was like 2 in the morning by the time they got out there. Okay, 15-minute candle. We're almost at that 15-minute mark. 7 more minutes. I'm trapped on the Leafs boat forever. Yes, you are. Yep. You had a window when Vegas formed, and that was it. That was it. If any other team forms now and you don't get on in day one, it's like you're just following the winning teams. I forget. There's a name for that. I got 2 games in 1. What do you mean you got 2 games in 1? What does that mean, Citrus?
NQ, 1 minute, quad rotation system armed for cell.
Yeah, cell signal and then Q. Just check that out quick. Yeah, that is a big cell signal on the NASDAQ. Oops, I didn't want to go to New Zealand currency. So we're just waiting for this 15-minute candle. I just want to show you guys how my setup works, and then I'm going to go. Oh, I did. Yeah. It was 2 games in 1. It was crazy. Except people were chanting by the end, "Someone score." Like, nobody cared. Nobody cared who won the game. They were like, please just end the game. People were like asleep in the seats, and like they closed all the shops so you couldn't even eat or drink anything. It was grueling. It was terrible. That was also the game that we took my wife's grandmother's car, because we were visiting family up there. So we took her car to go see the game, and completely just was oblivious to the fact that there was like a handicapped like sign in her car, and they just like they directed us into a direction without noticing it, and it was all handicap spots. And then I noticed, oh my gosh, they directed us here because we've got the handicap symbol in the the window of the car. I was like, what do I was afraid to get out of the car. I was like, what do we do? Do I like limp? Do I like do I like to have to pretend that I'm handicapped now? Because there was no way. If we got out, we would have had to wait like an hour to get back in line in the parking. That parking area outside the stadium in Carolina is awful. Big dumper. You see, this is one of the reasons why I don't get into these trades at the first 15 minutes. You just get so much wild action back and forth. It's just not. It's not really worth it. We're gonna wait for a 15-minute setup, and that's it. So now we have a substantially large range, which is great. From down here to up here, we're looking at 72 volume. Great. I don't have to pretend. Wow. Banned. If I had mods, I'd be like, ban him. Ban him immediately. You might be right. I don't have to try very hard. I just have to speak Hungarian, and they'll think I'm handicapped. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you guys the setup, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Gotta go to work. Gotta say hi to my son, my wife. I hear them downstairs. So this is gonna be your range, okay? So if you're following along with me, you can do this at home. On the 15-minute chart on the ES, you can box this 15-minute range up. I don't think it's really gonna break. I mean, it might break a new low. And then, oh wow, it's going to. So we're gonna get close to 100 range, maybe. That's a lot of selling pressure. But we bounced off the bottom a second time, eh? You see that? So that's what we touched at market open. And one more time, we touched it and we bounced off right away. But we do want these candlesticks to cross one of these lines. Oh, sounds good, dude. Yeah, all you had a night shift, man. That's brutal. That's really, really brutal. Well, take care, and let's touch base. I'm probably gonna be in London end of June. Okay, buddy. And we need to catch up. We need to hang out for sure. Okay, 2 minutes until we can finalize these boxes. Oh, so it is crossing below. Wow, nice. Good. That's great. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, and this is going to be, so I'm setting up a slow, boring part of everybody's morning here, okay? Oh, thank you. Pencil me in, brother. Hell yeah. All right, take care. Have a good sleep. I'm setting up a very boring morning for everybody who wants to trade the S&P futures or any sort of futures. So what are the steps? We take that 15-minute candle. If the volume is more than on the ES, if the volume is more than 200, more than 25% of 200, so more than 50, you'll draw a box around that 15-minute candle, right? And this trade only really lasts for about the first, like, I mean, realistically, like 2 hours. Okay, after that, the ranges don't really matter anymore. So 2 hours, 8:30 to 11:30. So this is your range to do this trade in, basically. Oh, we'll see if we go lower though. Yep. Oh, so we have a lot of range to play with. That's really good. Okay, there we go. We're about to start the next candle. Okay, and then I'll explain the rest. So 15-minute candle. If it's more than 50 range, right, for this time period, which it is. So you can just take this trade right now. So you're going to box it out for about a 2 hour increment. Then you go to a lower time frame. I like to go to 1 minute. You guys can go to like 3 minute or 5 minute. You're going to wait for these candles to cross either the bottom of this box or the top of this box, right? Do I have like little arrows that I can do? Do I have like little arrows? I don't really use arrows too much because I don't teach much on here, but I probably should. Here we go. So if this goes, you want this to go above or you want this to go below, okay? Now once it goes above or below, in this time frame that we have, this 2 hour time frame, it will most likely reverse and cross. There's about a 65-70% chance that it's going to reverse and cross again. And then you want your take profits. So say do I have a freehand tool? I don't. But say we cross down to here, okay? Our ES comes down to here. You wait for a reversal signal, which is all of these being oversold, just like we are here. These four stochastics are all oversold. And then when they all cross this 20 line, and you see the appropriate candles moving up, you get your reversal candles. We can talk about candlesticks another time. Then you would enter a position, and you would have your first take profit at this purple line, and your second take profit at this purple line. And then you move, usually when I hit this purple line, I'll move my stop loss up to my break-even point. And literally that's it. That's a very, very easy trade to take. You can take it every morning. If the volume is right, if the amount of range that you're hitting is correct. I keep saying volume, it's range. And that's it. So now we've crossed below, right? So we're going to look for a moment that it's going to look like it's reversing and going up. Now, if it never leaves this box, if this candle closes up here and it keeps moving up, then we're not doing anything. We're not entering a trade. We want this to come down at least to like the 7,360 range. And same thing, if this, even though this was right at the edge of the line here, if this crosses above, say in the next couple minutes, then just look for a reversal down and do the same thing. Take profit is here and take profit is here. That's it. But remember, wait for confirmation. Wait for a reversal pattern. Wait for something that indicates that it's going to happen.
Entering the 950 reversal zone. Entering the 950 reversal zone.
Yeah. So we're in a reversal zone right now too. So even though these are all crossing and this is bullish, we are in sort of our range. Now, if we weren't doing this strategy and we're just going purely off of the candles, yeah, it's a trade I might take. But if this is the trade we're doing, that's what I'm going to stick to. I'm going to stick to my plan. Have a plan of action when you go into trade. Don't just go in and just try a bunch of things. Because then you're going to get frustrated. Because if your original plan worked and you said, oh, I'm so stupid, I should have just done my plan. Or, oh, I'm stupid, I didn't do that, I should have done that, I would have made money. It's a very, very bad mental places to be in. So that's it. Now you're just going to wait for it. Oh, we had a big pop there. We have more news coming out. More war news, maybe? Okay, I'll let this run for a little bit, and I'll go downstairs, and I can come back to show you guys how to execute on this. So I will be right back. I'll leave the music playing a little bit, and we'll just watch this chart go. And once it crosses, you know what? You should go onto your account. You should start a paper trading account. Everybody out there, if you are interested in trading futures like this, or if you're trying this on some crypto, it's a little bit different in crypto though, because there's no like quote unquote like market open for crypto. It's almost always tradable, but you can do similar. You can do similar strategy. Definitely the stochastics work on it, but try paper trading. Open like a Thinkorswim account, Tasty Trade or Thinkorswim account, and do some paper trading. Just try these strategies out. I think TradingView has a paper trading account as well that you can get. So listen, we're gonna blast some metal music. Gonna go back to the beginning here. We're gonna blast some metal. And we're going to let you guys just watch this trade play out and look for our entry. So we want this to go above or below, and then watch for a reversal. Once that reversal starts to happen, I want you guys to type in chat where you think the reversal is. Like at what level or at what time, because I'll see a timestamp. And then we can chat about it after. Okay, I'm going to be right back. So I'm back. But we just don't have enough motion above to enter a trade there, unfortunately. And sometimes it just be like that, right? So we're still waiting for a definitive move in one direction. And if we just choppy markets are awful. It's really hard to make money in choppy markets because you will screw up. Let's see what's going on with oil. Oil has much more of a definitive move. So if you want to trade oil, this is what I would do. I would chart out this aggressive downward move, figure out the range of it, which is kind of, we'll be very, we'll give it a little more space here. So yeah, these have crossed, but we're gonna wait for this to cross this line to do any other trade. And then let's look at gold. Get the micros on gold. Those popcorns that you're hearing, those are for the ES. On the short end, gold is bullish here. So same thing, that this will come, if we cross here, we'll look for a downward negative bearish pressure. Oh, 1 second, I gotta take this. Ooh, here we go. That's a movement on gold. Potentially. But the ES is continually coming down. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Oh no, did he open the mint box? Did he grab any? His hand is covered. He didn't need any though, did he? I can't believe he got it open. Little guy just got into a bag of mints. Oops. What was I trying to do here? Oh yeah. I was trying to see, but these are all linked if I do 4, right? Yeah, they are all linked. I gotta unlink these. And I can just delete the link. I'll worry about that later. I don't want to worry you guys about it. The YM is also trending up, I believe. This is the Dow Jones. There might be a slight opportunity to scalp here, but I don't like that these are going lower. And we're under the 200-day moving average. But we do have we're in a positive structure here, a bullish structure. Okay.
Trade entry. Bought 1M ES at 7,386.
Bought 1 MES. So why did that go buy? Oh, because of that. Oh yeah, we're about to cross.
Trade closed. Sold 1M, ES, profit $21.
So we can take the... No. Yeah, that's why I don't like the algorithms can get in and out very quickly. But when you're manually trading, you gotta wait for a little bit longer. And larger. Oh, why do I have to sign in to do this? Okay, hold on.
Right, hey everybody, Daytrader Rockstar here
Order
with you with
submitted.
a flash
Order filled.
video here.
That's a guy I like to watch. I don't know why I have to log in here. Okay, moderators. Okay. That's weird. Okay, cool. So our ES. So we're still sitting in the middle of the zone. So we have this long. We have this long to have something happen. This box for our original 15-minute thesis. 15-minute candle opening thesis. That's it. So hopefully this crosses below and it gives us an opportunity to come back up. That is what I am hoping for. Just look at my indicator sound settings, that's all. Alright, we're just waiting for our entry position here. Just looking at other contracts to see if there's any opportunity. The micro oil, oh, there was a big dumperoo here. Okay, right, this is why trend lines are super important, right? They're really great indicators as to where candles will move. We don't have any big news updates or anything yet. Oh, there's our negative for the ES. I can hear it. Okay, excellent. Please close and come down to around here, and then we can grab a great reversal. Ooh, lots of negative news. What's is there new Trump announcements? Nope, just the same old. Just the same old. Okay. So these two are primed for a bullish reversal. I'd feel a lot more confident if there was like another negative candle, another red candle. We consolidated for like 2-3 minutes and then we went back up. And I guess my wish is my command. Good. Good. And really, I should have put this on the MES. And we can quickly do it. Because that is where I want to do my trades. I don't want to take big risks today. The market's been very, very choppy. So our opening candle is right here. This one, right? 30, yeah. So we're going to draw our box. Draw our box here. Bring it over to here, and then we're going to 11:30. correct? Yeah.
Attention. ES, 1 minute, perfect setup. Divergence buy with reversal candle at the divergence low.
So there's a reversal
Stop
candle
at
right there.
7,366.
So
this
we are
is
going
a
to
high
take an entry
conviction
here
trade.
because we've got all our stochastics under. We have our alert from our indicator. We had a reversal candle. We'll get into one contract here, and then I can buy another contract later. So our stop is just under here. First take profit is here. Up at the top there, 130. I took the trade right at the double lows here of these candles at around 846. So we cross this purple line of our box. We're gonna go back to break even here.
And Q,
We're
1
in
minute,
this trade for free
quad
now.
rotation system armed for buy.
Remember, this is a level that it'll bounce, so do not be scared when it touches it and it bounces back. And this could stop us out, and that's fine. We still had a good call. Yeah, it was a good call. There'll be another opportunity to jump into it. If this goes a little bit lower down to here, I would go in again where we originally bought in. No, that's okay. This shows me that there's a lot of selling pressure right around this region here. We had a huge candle as soon as we touched up there. So I was being aggressive there with my stop. I could have just left it down here, to be honest. I don't like that it's swinging up and down so aggressively though. So even though we got the high conviction trade alert, if I'm seeing stuff that doesn't look right to me, I want to get out. And that might have been the trade. I mean, this trade might just keep going up at top, but the moment that I pulled back like that, there's a lot more risk on the table. That we're not starting to be range bound in the purple box here. Even though it came right back up and that's bullish now. This is an important resistance zone here too. So we'll see. But then you have a resistance right above it. So resistance zone here, resistance zone above it. It's a lot of downward pressure. What we really would have needed is a candle, on the 3 minute. Like this green candle, if this would have just closed up here above the red candle, we would have had more than enough momentum to push through. Just like it did here, right? Red candle, green candle closed above, momentum to push all the way through. It still is a perfect bull setup, but...
And Q, 1 minute, quad rotation system armed for buy.
There's the sells. See what I mean? Just wasn't a high conviction trade anymore once we lost that momentum up here. No, we did break this low, but we didn't close below it. I want to make this a different color. If these stochastics get oversold again, I might take the trade again. And if I see the appropriate candle. And we're close to the lows of the day too. So we could just set the trade and forget it and walk away. It's another thing we can do. And here we go. We're going lower. Here's the popcorns. So some of you might say down at this range, like, oh, well, it's kind of hovering and I can average down and I can get in that same trade with the same concept. Yes, you can, but you're going to have to wait longer and you're going to have a larger risk factor because there's no confirmation that it's going up. Zero confirmation. Actually, so we do have a micro trend right here, right? We have this trend. And pretty much lined up with, if we just go to the tip of that wick. It was very, I mean, it didn't break that range. So we want to, oops, I didn't mean to move that. We want to break this range. That's another confirmation that we're going to be trending upwards. Some outliers. Yeah, we can just do that.
ES, 1 minute, quad rotation system armed for buy.
So we're armed. We're ready, like, well, our parameters are met. We're all below the this 20 mark. So we're oversold on all ranges of the stochastic indicators. We're just going to look for a bullish candle reversal. So if this green candle closes above here, above this range, then we can enter a trade. Looks like we might get it.
And Q,
Didn't,
1 minute.
So we're not
quad
getting
rotation
in.
system armed for buy.
If this green candle closes above, then we're definitely entering. So you not only want the stochastics to align, but you want those candlesticks to show you that there's a reversal pattern coming. And then we have another confirmation, which is crossing this trend line. But we have more popcorns. It means a lot of big sell orders coming in. Oh, we got some crickets. Crickets are good. Popcorn is bad in this case. Because we're looking for a bullish play here. Looking for a play to the upside. And we're just chilling here. That's it. If this closes here, that's very bullish. I'll go in 2 contracts there. I want the trade to happen, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. No harm, no foul. Looking at our time frames. 18 after, nothing really going to happen until 30 after. I mean, at 20 something will happen. This doesn't really close. I mean, I could take a flyer here. I would just prefer if this closed above this red candle that we have here, because these are pretty much even, which puts a lot of risk on the table if you don't have enough momentum to push above this. I mean, really, we want to push above this zone. Let's move this yellow line down to there. So we want to push above that yellow line. That's where we want to close. If we close above that yellow, we got some instant profit we can take at that first purple line. Checking some news here really quick, seeing if there's anything.
ES, 1 minute, quad rotation system armed for buy.
I know we're armed for a buy, but
And
this green
Q,
candle has to
1
close
minute,
above
quad
this red
rotation
candle.
system armed
Can't
for
do anything
buy.
until that. Can't do anything until that point. We're getting close here. We still got a lot of time left. Let's look at our higher time frames. A really strong downtrend on the 5 minute. Yeah, we have to close above that yellow on the 5 minute. On the 3 minute too. More popcorns. Yikes. Intel doing? Oh, Intel took a dump too. After that nice Microsoft move in the morning. I mean, news in the morning. Well, I just want to show you guys this one trade. But it just might not happen. Like I said. Could be a day it doesn't happen. I think everyone's we're waiting for, we have some war news that's gonna like play havoc with us a little bit, but we're just waiting for Nvidia earnings on Wednesday. That's it. If their earnings come out great, I think it just lifts the entire market up. That's it. Oh, we had labor data, didn't we? Home builder confidence, that already came in. So higher home builder confidence. That's crazy. That's actually wild. Okay, now we got some good distance from the purple indicator here. All we need is a reversal candle. Everything else is primed and ready to go. That's it. We're just waiting. Oops, almost dropped my coffee. Oops. Is this stuck up? Okay. Good. Let this be it. See how we're nicely just staying in this channel that I carved out for us, this trend channel. So make sure to do this, even if it feels weird, just doing like a little section like this.
ES, 1 minute, quad rotation system armed for buy.
Yes, we are armed to buy. We just got to find the right opportunity to buy. It's not yet. Change this a little bit. There we go, got some crickets. If this closes, I'll buy and I'll put my stop there. Especially if it closes above here, then that's a very high conviction. Just gets pushed down so aggressively though. I don't like that. It just shows that there's a lot of sell orders out there.
And Q, 3 minute, quad rotation system armed for buy.
If we close here, I'm gonna enter. I'm getting to the 5 minute mark, so there's a lot of volume gonna come in 1 minute here. 5 minute time frame. That's a big bullish reversal candle on the 5 minute time frame if we close like that. There we go.
Order filled.
There, I'm in on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, stop loss here is $100. We want to take first profit around here. And this can happen. It's an aggressive selling day, even though we had 3 very nice reversal candles. It literally could just bite us. So our first sell is going to be up here, and our second sell will be up towards the top. And we're just going to see what happens. This is our trade for the morning. This is the best setup that we've seen so far. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's it. I'll walk away, and I'll wait till news time in the middle of the day when Trump comes out and gives some announcements. Now, if I wanted, so I just waited for these candles to confirm. If I wanted to wait for another confirmation, and I'm being a little impatient here because I need to get going, and I wanted to show you guys something before I left, is that I would have waited for one of these candles to close outside of this trend line, like I said. Okay? And if your position automatically goes into a losing mode like this, please fight the urge to double down and buy the dip, so to speak, right? And like, oh, well, I have an even better entry now. Don't do it. If you have a set amount of money that you want to use and a set amount of contracts you want to trade with, stick to that. Don't just keep piling it on. I've definitely blown up accounts doing that. You don't just want to pile things on hoping that it's going to go the other way. So now we got a reversal point here on the 20 EMA,
yes,
the red
3
line
minute
here.
quad rotation system armed for buy. And Q 3 minute.
So we just gotta watch out for that. If we can break this red
buy.
line here, then we're golden. I think we're golden for the run up. I might even go and make some food downstairs, get ready to go to work. Oh man. Here's the crickets. Crickets like to blast through that red line. Let's do it. Come on. Once I hit this limit sell up here, I'll move this to break even. So right now I'm about a 3-to-1 ratio, right? I'm risking 100 to win 300 total. Well, less because I'm gonna take profit here. So about like 150. Listen, if we can close above here, I think we're in good shape to hit our first take profit. And our first take profit is going to be around 62, so it'll be $30 take profit. And then I'll leave the other one to go longer. A lot of crickets. Just need to keep that momentum and stay above the 20-day EMA. If we can't stay above the 20-day EMA, we're probably going to reverse again. Ooh, there's a big red candle. Now we're getting close to the oversold mark on the short-term stochastic. On the 14-day stochastic, it's we're getting up there too. If the 14-day stochastic gets up to oversold as well, I'm going to exit out of the trade because those will curve and overbought, not oversold, and they will start to get sold. Any other news? Eight minutes ago, he says he's postponing strikes again. Launch faces questions from lawmakers. Any more data? Trump visits White House, ballroom construction. Cool. Crypto fear and greed. So we're in extreme fear in the crypto market. Fear and greed index is done. We're on greed for stocks. Interesting.
And Q, 3-minute, quad rotation system
Wow,
armed
Treasury
for bot.
Bassett had a bunch of things to say. NATO to consider a Hormuz deployment if the strait is not open by July. That's where we got that big dump. That's exactly it. So NATO is looking to get involved. So war headlines are going to drive this. If that trend line turns into a support line, great. But we're looking more and more like this is a bad trade. Or a dead trade. It was a good trade, but it just died. Once again, notice how I'm not panicking. I'm not touching anything. I have my trade thesis, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it was still a good entry. Some could argue I could have gotten in lower here, right? When I saw this candle close here, but it just wasn't enough conviction for me that these stochastics didn't cross the oversold lines. These are kind of in no man's land still. We can hold on to this. We're still looking at a longer trend here now.
Trade entry. Bot 1M, ES at 7,368.
Okay, so now the algo even bought one. With $30 profit. But we're going to keep holding it. We're going to hit this take profit up here. It just pulled back under it. Now these two are at the top here.
Trade closed.
These two are at
Sold
the top.
1M, ES, profit $11.
So if it bounces up just a little bit. Just bouncing off this yellow, which was a resistance point for us. No, so far we haven't closed under this trend line, so that's a positive. If it closes that under that trend line, then I'll be a little bit more worried. Right now we're within a good range. We're floating around the 20 EMA. We're floating around the middle of the Bollinger Band. We have hit this point 1, 2, kind of 3 times. But yeah, I could bring a take profit to about the edge of that candle. I think that's a reasonable goal to hit. Right under the top of that one. My son's crying. I'm gonna have to go in a little bit here. This trade's just taking a little bit longer to accumulate. To execute. This is the other thing, don't start stuff when you have other commitments. Like, don't do anything don't get into anything if you feel like you're going to be rushed. When we're rushed, we just want to get things done and we just want them to be over with, and we'll often make mistakes. We'll often make a decision emotionally and not technically. It looks like we're going to close under here. If it closes under here, I'm out on both contracts. Because we've lost all this upwards momentum if this candle closes lower. It's about to close right now. Oh, I might consolidate a little bit. But I'm moving my stop right to here. Not letting it go any lower than that. Because our thesis now changed when we were entering around here, that this was the lowest point. It still could be the lowest point, but it could take way too long. The longer you're staying in a trade, the more, like when you're trying to scalp, the riskier it gets, in my opinion. That quick snap that you saw there, that means there's a huge amount of orders that are set up there that they just grab those prices super quick. Can we get life back into this trade? That's my question. Can we get life back into the trade? Just hovering around that 20 EMA. If we close above, there's a chance. 15 seconds. Oof! Right as soon as we touch that yellow line, where I put our resistance zone, we just instantly snapped down. That was crazy. Can we push above it? Looking for extra news. No. Extra news here. Swaps imply over an 80% chance of a Fed rate hike. Oh, by 80%, a rate hike would not be good for the economy. I mean, the 3-minute is looking pretty bullish. 5-minute is looking pretty bullish. Let's just hang on to the trade. Yeah, 5-minute candle is very bullish. We just keep getting rejected. I think if we can overcome this zone, I think we're going quite higher. So I will actually set this stop. I mean, this take profit a little bit higher there.
ES 3-minute quad rotation sell signal. ES 3-minute quad rotation buy signal.
Well, that's a little confusing. What's on the 3-minute? Yeah, it should be a buy signal. On the 1-minute, we're getting close to a divergence here. We're going to be overbought. I've already moved my stop up once, and I really am considering moving it to break even because I don't like how choppy we are. Okay, I'm going to move it to break a little bit higher than break even, just under the bottom of that wick. And our first take profit here is going to be $45 of profit. We might stop out. I'll be okay with that. I'm starting to like this trade less
Order
and less.
filled.
Yeah. So that's it. Make sure to clear all your trades that are on. Oh, and we got out at a very good time. Look at that. I told you I started to not like that trade. It was too stagnant, not moving enough. So that's basically it. I mean, let's do a quick review of what I did. First, I mean, we still walked away with $750. If I was trading bigger contracts, it would be $75. That's a what, in 2 hours? $75 in 2 hours. If I did a regular contracts, but so we look at this first 15-minute candle at open on the NASDAQ or the ES, so the NQ or the ES, or MNQ, MES. Then we look for, if this keeps coming up, then that's great, then that's fine, but that's risky. It's turning into a 50-50 shot. I hear the crickets going, that's why I mentioned it. So if our total range is about 25% or more of the active range, which is generally 200 on the ES, then we're going to place a box around the highs and lows of that first 15-minute candle. We're going to drag it out to about 2 hours. We're going to wait for it to cross in one direction, look for a reversal candle, and then look for our trading indicators, which in my case is the stochastic bands, stochastic indicators, the EMAs, and then also looking for reversal candles. Setting your first take profit here and your second take profit here. That's it. You can do this trade every single morning. It's a pretty safe trade. And yeah, just be responsible. Use your head. Don't be emotional. Of course, I'm not a professional. I'm not here to give financial advice. There's that upper move, but it keeps just bouncing off that, and I don't like it. I think this will move back up to here and cross. I truly do think it will. But once again, we're gambling. We're oversold now on these two, and it could very easily just drop back down like it did here. And yeah, I just don't want to risk that position. That's all. Hope you guys are gonna have a good rest of your day. I'll see you online in probably about an hour on Spaces. I will read the next chapter of the 48 Laws of Power. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.